Welcome to episode 75 of the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 11 Minutes. My name is Jeremy Pook and I lead Senior Attorney Match. Today's in 11 minutes will focus on the three benefits of M&A to growing law firms. So let's jump right into it. As growing law firms are considering merger and acquisitions for their practices, it's really three major benefits that M&A presents to growing law firms. Those three benefits are the addition of new clients, access to an experienced workforce, and an improvement to their digital content and digital value. So let's unpack each of those three benefits over the course of today's episode. So the first major benefit that M&A presents to growing law firms is the addition of the book of business of the selling law firm's practice. So selling law firm typically led by one or more rainmaker attorneys, they have developed a book of business over the course of their careers consisting of hundreds, sometimes even thousands of clients, as well as scores of referral sources. That instant client growth presents an immediate benefit by growth by acquisition, by mergers and acquisitions for growing law firms. The second major benefit that M&A presents to growing law firms is the combined workforce. If we think of adding clients to a growing law firm as the energy source that law firms need to be profitable, ongoing concerns, well, the engine for that growth is talented lawyers and talented support staff. Growth by acquisition, M&A, presents an opportunity for growing law firms to immediately add talented and experienced lawyers and non-lawyer staff. They don't need training, they have experience, and they know the clients of the selling law firm. And because of their experience in their given practice areas, they're able to acclimate and work with the clients of the growing law firm. In terms of the third the third major benefit of M&A to growing law firms relates to the digital value that a selling law firm presents in an M&A type transaction. And here in particular, we need to recognize that the legal industry has experienced an absolute revolution when it comes to business development. In reality, clients today look online for lawyers and law firms to hire. Clients go to Google. They're asking their AI thought leader, thought partner, who do you recommend? ChatGPT, Claude, Harvey, and whatnot for my fact situation. They are watching and listening to lawyers' posts on social media, reviewing websites, listening to podcasts, and watching videos. When it comes to growth by acquisition, M&A, there's really three treasure chests that M&A presents to growing purchasing firms, of those three treasure chests that a selling firm presents to acquiring law firm. And those treasure chests consist of the following. First is the access to hundreds and sometimes even thousands of potential five-star Google reviews. If we think of acquiring that client list, often a selling law firm has not done a good enough job of asking their loyal clients, the clients that respect them, clients that come to them year in and year out for five-star Google reviews. There is access to those hundreds of five-star Google reviews that a selling law firm presents to an acquiring firm. And of course, any interested future client wants to know how many five-star Google reviews does a law firm have, and what is that typical score? Ideally, that score, we want it to be 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. And selling law firm with its book of business presents opportunities for those hundreds of five-star Google reviews. Second is untapped digital content. That is that senior attorneys who are your typical sellers of law firms in M&A situations, they have tremendous amounts of practice experience and practice area knowledge. When acquiring a senior attorney-led firm, the growing law firm has an opportunity to convert that practice knowledge into digital content, into LinkedIn posts, into YouTube videos, into Instagram posts, to calendar invitations to Zoom type events and CLEs, and just the list goes on and on in terms of that untapped digital content, so that when people are looking for that growing law firm, now that growing law firm has access to the digital content, that digital value that senior attorney-led firm presents. And the third untapped value is the boost to the goodwill of a given purchasing firm's website. When adding the bios of the lawyers from the selling law firm, and clients are visiting the practice areas, the bios of a growing law firm, it can now see, oh, this lawyer is part of the firm, that lawyer is part of the firm. Wow, this person has X number of litigation victories under their belt, was the chair of such and such bar organization, or president of a bar organization. And we're also seeing that when M&A occurs, that your purchasing law firms are sometimes now maintaining the websites of these selling law firms, because selling law firms today often have years, 15, 20 plus years of digital value to their websites. And we're seeing co-branded firms today, where you have growing firm through merger and acquisition, acquiring another firm, and maintaining the website of selling law firm, because of the digital value that the selling law firm's website will continue to offer to the acquiring firm. So for today's recap, there are three benefits that M&A presents to growing law firms. As growing law firms are considering merger and acquisitions, really three major benefits that M&A presents to a growing law firm. First is the addition of new clients by purchasing the book of business. Second is adding an experienced workforce. And third is the digital value that selling firms present to acquiring firms. So let's just look at each of those three benefits. First is the addition of that book of business. Through mergers and acquisitions, the acquiring firm has instant client growth by acquiring a selling law firm's book of business, which consists of hundreds, sometimes thousands of clients, plus scores of referral sources. The second benefit is the addition of a combined workforce. That is, when acquiring a selling law firm, often the experienced lawyers as well as talented support staff join the growing law firm. The benefits there for the acquiring firm is they are acquiring lawyers with years, sometimes decades of experience and know-how, as well as skilled paralegals and legal assistants who can continue to represent not only the clients of the selling law firm, but also the clients, of course, of the acquiring growing firm that has just purchased the selling firm through merger and acquisition. And then the third benefit is the digital value. And the benefit of that digital value is broken down into three parts. We really call them three treasure chests. And those three treasure chests consist of, first, access to hundreds, even thousands of potential five-star Google reviews from that book of business being acquired via growth by acquisition, via M&A. The second treasure chest is untapped digital content. That is, that the acquiring firm has the ability to convert the practice area subject matter knowledge of the lawyers in particular of a selling law firm, and to convert that subject matter knowledge into digital content to publish to multi-channel digital marketing vehicles for the attention of today's and tomorrow's clients, where those clients continue looking online for lawyers and law firms to hire. And then the third benefit from the standpoint of the three treasure chests of digital value is the boost to the websites of the acquiring law firms by adding the bios of experienced lawyers to their websites. Also, by maintaining the long-standing websites of a selling law firm. We're seeing that more and more. We're calling those co-branded websites because acquiring firms through M&A recognize that the selling law firm may very well have a very well kept website that will continue offering digital value to the acquiring firm. And that and that is the state of the market for law firm sales in 11 minutes.